Hey, what's going on my fellow YouTubers out there? All of my Uber tiers and lifters. Today's video, we're gonna discuss a little bit about, do tip boxes and signs really help you make more money? Well, you know what? Let's be honest with everybody. Of course they do. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? Everybody always thinks that having tip boxes or signs is tacky and that you shouldn't do it, and they're just crazy. I hate to say it, but they are pretty crazy. Now, I know maybe if you're in like New York or something like that, it might be a little bit more dangerous to have a tip box, but there's still no reason you can't have a sign. Yes, Jimbo, Eagles fan, definitely. For sure, man. And this was our year. It was awesome. But everybody, definitely, you need to have tip boxes or signs. I'm sorry to say this, but you're losing money. You're missing out on opportunities. Now, a lot of people like to try to say, hey, you know, I can just be myself and, you know, be funny, entertaining. And sure, you're right. There is no doubt that you can. But Uber has beat it into all of their passengers' heads for years that the fact of they don't need to tip in the app. So even now that everybody knows tipping's in the app, of course, they made it difficult. You have to be rated to see the tip feature, and we all know how many people get rated. You do 100 trips, you're hoping to get at least 50 of those rated. So come on now. The only, okay, Christian right here just said the only thing you never ask for tips, they might be offended. You're exactly right. And that's what having the tip boxes and signs help do for you. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, hope you had a great ride, 5-star service, and you can make them creative. You could do anything you want. You know, like I saw some people had something like give a tip, save a leprechaun. You know, it was something clever like that. But you could have them say anything you want. You know, be creative in that aspect, and you won't have to ask for tips. So you could just be yourself, make people laugh. And a lot of times, believe it or not, like my tip box, I got the drinking guy. So it's a very good icebreaker. Like sometimes when people get in the car, it could be their first time taking an Uber. You just never know. So you always want to make sure that sometimes you have something to talk about because you have to feel your passengers out. You don't know if they really want to talk, if they just want to be quiet. You know, sometimes when they're on the phone, you know, of course, you're not going to bother them then. Now and then, if they're on the phone, to try to still conversate it all, I'll be like, excuse me, is the destination correct? You know, something like that. You still want to try to engage with them no matter what. I mean, you might not talk about much more than that. You might not get into details with, you know, becoming a psychiatrist, because we know sometimes we all do that. And let me tell you what, I've had rides where you had to be a psychiatrist, and yeah, guess what? After hearing their like life story, gave them some kind of advice, and then bam, you know, you can get a tips that way as well. Oh, I can't say that, Christian. I can't repeat that. That's not cool. What do you prefer, XL, X, or pool? Well, thankfully, my market, I'm in the Tampa, Florida market, so I do not have pool. And I am XL and X because I drive a 2015 Toyota Sienna. So honestly, I prefer when I get XL rides. Of course, you know, they pay a little bit more, but then you have more people in the vehicle. And when you get everybody going, like people laughing and everything like that, you know, conversating, just having a great time, that's a lot more people to potentially tip you as well. Not just the one person that requested. I've had people get out of the car and everybody hand me a 5, and I can hold up to 7 people, make 35 bucks in tips just like that. So you just never know. But I definitely prefer XL because, like I said, you get more people and you get paid more. So there's no really, even if you don't get tipped, at least I still got paid a little bit better. And like I said, I mean, I have all the tip signs. And then this one guy, I even had him make me up a sign. I thought it was pretty cool and pretty clever. You know what I'm saying? It was, I didn't pay anything for it because he gave it to me for letting him advertise in my group. And I guess he made a bunch of money off of it. Yeah, my thing's legit. It's all battery powered right now. The only downfall is it makes like a beeping noise. You know what I'm saying? But you can press the button, make it go faster. Oh yeah, I got this back in the day before they stopped selling them. So it's kind of cool. I wanted to get a Lyft amp, but they didn't have that available. So I was like, whatever. And then I see all those things on eBay that people like to buy, the little Uber and Lyft things. Or some markets still offer the new Uber light. That thing is kind of neat, where the passengers can turn it to different colors. But of course, that's not available in my market, so that really sucks. But just stuff like that, can make you stand out and get tips. Oh, let's take a moment for the comment. Was that Jimbo? Some people say that you don't get much money from pool, but sometimes I don't mind because the promotion 15 trips, you get $35, so that helps. You're right. A lot of people that don't like to do pool, you're right. That only time I hear anybody really liking to take pool is when they're going ahead and trying to get some kind of promotion, do X amount of trips to get extra 35 and then 55 and so on if you keep going. So yes. So, and I hear people, surprisingly, even though the ride was really cheap, that people still tip on pool. I was really shocked about that. And I was like, that's actually kind of a good thing. They're already getting a really cheap ride. So if they do tip, that's pretty legit right there. I know a lot of people, like besides having tip signs and boxes, some people have like an Alexa, something like that in the car. So then they can have it do games. Like I know there's Jeopardy on there. You can play Wheel of Fortune. It's a bunch of cool little games you can just say. And I guess all you need, you have to have Wi-Fi, which I know a lot of people also say, why should you spend extra money on Wi-Fi? But hey, you know what? It's your business. If you want to run it that way to help get better tips, and it only costs, I think, like an extra $10 or something, you just never know. You're from Philly and people don't tip all that much? Oh, that's a bummer. Do you have a tip sign or a tip box as well, man? And then also, see, like my tip box, I got it really cheap. I got it for like not even 20 bucks off Amazon. You know what I'm saying? So, and people can get the clear ones. You can get some LED lights cheap from Walmart, chuck them in there, turn them on now and then. You don't have to buy like, I know some people, some other people were selling tip jars that were really cool. They had the light up cords, light up inside, but they were like 60, 70 bucks. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure they probably make their money back, but it just sucks to have that much money up front for something that you may feel might not work, or other people, say that won't work. But honestly, I mean, it's gonna work. Just think of something really clever and you just roll with it, and I guarantee that you'll get some tips. No, not really. Just into my 3rd week doing Uber. I love it. Set your own schedule and hours. Yeah, that's right, Jimbo. That's a lot of people love it. But that's why I'm telling you, if you're new, and that's why I asked you, have you already had a tip box or sign? Because if you haven't, so you've already experienced the fact that you're saying no people tip. So I'm going to go ahead and say, buy a cheap tip box, man. Or you can create one or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you get it off Amazon, it's like 15, 20 bucks. I have links in the description to the website, which when you scroll on the website, it has it up there and crap. But you can literally just make anything you want, put it in there. I use Velcro. I get that from Walmart too. It was like cheap $3, $4 strips. I just doubled it up, Velcroed the hell of it to the center console, and blam. It was really nice. What's up, Gary? I worked Easter Sunday night, best tip day, 6 weeks of driving. That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. Because you know what? I didn't work Easter itself because Saturday night I had worked and it was so slow and it was a bust and I was really upset. So Sunday had to be family day because I have a lot of kids. How much you make in tips? And where would you place a tip box in a small car? See, okay, I'll answer that. I'm going to answer the where would you put the box first. Okay, if you have a small car, they also have like tip jars, or I'm sorry, tip cups that actually fit right in your cup holder, and then you can have them light on as well. Or they have ones you can plug into your adapter and they'll light up. You know what I'm saying? So you can have a tip cup. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And you can print out whatever you want still and either tape it to it or inside or the out. Yeah, or you could glue it. But you know what I'm saying? They have all types of things. There's always something. I've seen people had like a tip bag. Like it was just a bag between them. And like it would be a trash bag, but they just shoved it in. But they had it like really neat. Now I wouldn't go so as far as having the bag because that kind of looked messy to me. But That's when signs come into play. If you have a car and you don't have room for a box or a jar and you don't want to go that route, then just get a sign, you know? Put a sign over it or whatnot. You can hang it up in behind the headrest. They have the signs, the actual headrest signs. I know somebody sells those craps. But either way, you just want to have something that says it so that way you can make more. Now I'm going to get back to Christian, how much I make in tips. Well, I had the one night, or a couple days ago when I made a video, I made 50 bucks for like in 2 hours of tips. And that was just in cash. And then someone gave me a lotto ticket as well. So on average though, when I work the weekends, when I work an actual, 20, 30 hours from Friday to Sunday, I usually average at least 100 to 150 bucks just in tips. And I mean, that's probably doing 30 to 40 trips. You know what I'm saying? Just depends. Because obviously I actually get tipped more on the short runs than the long ones because it's like people feel bad or something that it was a short ride. And I don't know. But I also, since I'm in Tampa, I also know where to drive. How many hours do I do daily? See, I don't work. I'm not a full-time driver. You know what I'm saying? I'm usually the weekend warrior. But here lately, I've had more time during the day for a couple hours. So I've been venturing out just to see how it is. Because I know next year my last kid will be in school full-time. So then I'll have the whole day to decide what I want to do, which is kind of cool. That's a couple months. I'll be happy. How much is gas in Florida right now? It's like $2.57. So yeah, it is on the rise. That's kind of a bummer. But that's where drive smarter, not harder comes into play. Now, if you know where to go and when to go, and especially the best locations to go, like not even for surge. Like I'll dip surge to, damn, $2.79. I'll dip surge to go to my really good hot spots if I know stuff's about to pop off. Because like, for example, St. Pete is a really hot party spot. And it's like, a lot of like, the rich old people or whatever you want to call it, even the younger people, they all live over there. And they tip like crazy. Here in Tampa itself, it's more of college kids. And we all know college kids, they need their money for their booze and everything else. So they don't really tip on occasion. You always drive with the filter to stay where the surge is. Hey, that's always good, man. That's always smart. That's still smarter, not harder. So I always applaud everyone that does that because that's just awesome right there. But when you go to get tips, if knowing where to go and when to go is definitely really good. Oh, what is this? Anthony. I got 2 $10 tips today out of 10 trips. That's pretty good. So surprised. One ride was too short, less than $5. Guess it's your personality. See? That's also what I'm saying. I think a lot of people that down tip box and signs, they just only say they can rely on their personality, which, hey, some people can, some people can't. But to me, I like to think I got personality as well. So I just like having the signs and the boxes as an extra helpful way of getting people, to tip. Because like I said, if it's funny, it's entertaining, good icebreaker, and then I can always make jokes about it. You know what I mean? And honestly, I think that, like I said, I've done an experiment before when I didn't have them. And then when I did, and I didn't make almost anything. See, the boxes for me look old school. Oh, and there's different designs out there too. That's what people don't realize. It's like it's not just, one plain thing. I got it black so that way, people couldn't see what I got. And after every trip that I could, then when people did tip, I took the money out. So that way if someone did somehow gank it in time without me, being able to stop them, which I've had my kids try to pull it off, and I have double Velcro. I mean, you can't. It's even hard for me to get it off. But I still, prepare ahead of time. I know a lot of people that have the clear tip boxes, they go ahead and leave like $2 in there as like money, as like a side. Yeah, see, it's the key too. I mean, it locks up and everything. So when it locks, unlocks, and then the bottom pops off. And like I said, I got the Velcro. So, I mean, it's legit sealed and everything. So they ain't just gonna run off. The biggest trip amount, like without a tip, or just my biggest trip? My biggest trip alone was 103, 104. It was pretty good. It was from here to Orlando, XL. So that was pretty cool. And then they tipped me $50 because we laughed about the tip box and just everything else. Do you ever talk about tipping with your packs? Will it work in conversation, Gary? Yes. Now, that's why also it comes into play, because if people want to ask anything about it, and you can be like, oh, I didn't know you could tip or anything. I was like, oh, yeah, man, they let us do that because, you know they don't pay us enough, so it's kind of almost like servers. You know, we just live off tips. You just nonchalant say things. I'm like, yeah, I gotta keep the gas rolling, because I use all my tips mainly for gas. So that way, almost everything I'm making is just pure profit, which is really nice. Myself $60 tips plus iPhone charge cost her $17.99. Man, that's kind of intense. That's pretty good right there. My biggest tip by itself was just $100, but that's like returning an iPhone, and that's really cool right there. Like, I have never had to use the return fee for $15 because everyone's always tipped me more than that, and I'm not going to be a douche and try to double dip and, you know, get bad karma. There ain't no need for all that. Now, if anybody ever does get a phone or anything like that, make sure, if you realize on time, turn that thing off before you head home, because they can track it, and then you don't want people showing up at your house in the morning like that. I had someone one time, I didn't know the phone was in the back seat. They had an iPhone. They used that Find My iPhone app, tracked it to my house, and I'm sitting in my garage like I am right now, and I was having a couple beers because, you know, it was like 3 in the morning. I was done, and somebody rolls up on me, and, you know, like 3 people got the car. I thought they're gonna throw down on me, and I'm like, well, what's going on here? Like, I forgot my phone. I was like, oh, okay. You know, I was like, let me look for it. I was like, can you describe it? You know, make sure it was their phone. But yeah, and then they still tipped me $20 and had a beer with me, so that was kind of cool. But it cannot always go that way with everybody else. So, yeah. You want to make sure you turn those cell phones off so they can't be tracked. Oh, man. But I want to... Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then, of course, like, he tipped me because I was like, damn, dude, you scared me. I was like, I was about to get robbed. And, but I recommend, please, everybody, if you're not using a tip box or sign, and you're not doing it only because you think it looks tacky or something like that, well, then you're missing out. I mean, this is definitely one of those things you want to try it. You know, don't knock it till you try it type deal, because you ain't got nothing to lose and you got everything to gain. And that's bottom line. I mean, you can buy a cheap tip sign, you can make your own, you can do anything. Just be creative, you know what I'm saying? Use your mind. That's this whole gig right here is just a mind fuck anyway, so you might as well be on top and in charge. Get that money. Get all that money. Everything possible. I know a lot of people like to use, actually get their cards, you know what I'm saying, order cards off Vistaprint or something like that, which is not a bad idea. That doesn't work as good as it used to because, you know, everything's online and whatnot, and what do you do if someone hands you a card? You stick it in your pocket and then, like, you forget about it. You know what I'm saying? So that really can suck when that happens. But if anybody ever, like, asks you about it, free rides or anything like that, just because they already took their free ride, you can still give them if you did the cards already. I'm not telling people to go out and do this because I don't use cards anymore. If people ask me anything about it, I'm like, yeah, I'll just give them my code. Most of the time they give me their number because I'll get a lot of clientele on the side. I still run everything through the app. I don't take cash trips. I don't do that at all. I ain't taking a risk of fucking myself. I know a lot of people that I guess have like chauffeur's license. You can, other states and everything else, there's certain ways you can work around that. But I don't take cash jobs. How long have I been doing Uber? I've been doing Uber for like just 3 years. Just finally hit the 3-year mark. So I like it pretty good. I mean, the referrals, driver and rider, they're awesome. And everybody knows drivers sign up and quit all the time because most of the time they don't last past 3 months. They might get their sign-on bonus and then just bounce because then they don't like it because they feel they're losing out money. A lot of people are losing out money when they're sitting there not using everything to their abilities. I mean, you can't just drive around aimlessly now hoping to get rides in the bad locations, bad times. You're just wasting time. The only good thing is you can use those miles at the end of the year as write-offs, but let's face it, we all like the end of the year, but in the end of the year ain't right now. And everybody's about now. You want money now, now, now. Save 10K, now you're going for 20. Hell yeah, man, congrats. That is awesome right there. And I'm telling you, and I hope you got the tip box and sign. you definitely freaking can add up the money. Love your videos. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you. I appreciate it. I try to keep everybody entertained at least, no matter what. And I notice a lot of people don't go live much anymore. Everything's pre-planned, pre-script. I don't like to do all that crap. I like to just go ahead and say it, tell it, have people ask me questions and, you know, answer it on the fly just like I would be if you were sitting here talking to me. I don't like all that fake shit. Nobody got time for that. That's why even in this gig, I mean, anytime, that's also a fun thing. You can be anybody you want when people get in the car and ask you, hey, what do you do for a living? You know what I'm saying? You could say whatever you want to make it more entertaining, to make them have a better ride, to make them laugh, and eventually, you know, get a tip. Our job is to get them from A to B safe, and the side job is to, you know, try to get some tip out of them. I mean, why not? I know, like I said, that's why I conversate a lot and I talk a lot. And yeah, most of the time it's all good. I've never had anybody say I was a bad writer or anything like that. I've even had the drunk guys sit there, and I've watched him on his phone. He was gonna give me a tip and everything, rated me a 1 on accident. He's like, oh fuck, and then, you know, gave me a $30 tip just for the hell of it. That was really good. You gotta love those rides. And if you do the night shift you can make a lot of tips. No, let's go ahead and read some of these comments. I like your videos, too great training and no sarcastic remarks. Yeah, thank you, Jimbo. Yeah, I try to make sure. That's why, and Christian laughing. Yeah, see, I don't like even my group. I have the Uber Lyft Driver 101 group, and I mod a couple other groups. No matter what, everyone can have a good day, bad day, but I hate it when I have new people ask a simple question and then people just have to be smartasses. There's no need to be a smartass to people. Why? What the fuck does that accomplish? Not a damn thing. And then the question is still not answered, and now it's just a bunch of drama stirred up for nothing. So that's why I try to just send people to my videos, just have them message me personally. I answer messages all day long, nonstop. I might as well get paid from Uber to doing this shit. But hey, you know what? I like good karma comes around. Like I said, I haven't had any actual bad or anything like that. Yeah, that is right, Jimbo. A lot of them do try to make other drivers feel stupid. But you really know what that is? If you're in their market, everyone feels as everyone's competition. Which in one way, you know what, I can agree. We are competing with each other to get a ride. But it's just, you know, a random algorithm or whatever that chooses who gets the ride. But just because we're competing against each other doesn't mean we still can't help each other in at least some aspects. Asking simple questions like how to do something in the app, or, you know, do I start the trip here and there? Like, you know, never start a trip before your packs get in the ride. That's pretty damn good info everyone needs to know. Because a lot of times, just because you show up to a place, never start the trip. Because they could not come out. You try to cancel, you can't cancel, you ain't getting the no-show fee no more. You know what I'm saying? Just simple questions like that. How do you contact Uber in the app? I mean, I've had so much crap go off with just that one alone, and that's the easiest question to answer. You know what I'm saying? You open the app, go to account, go to help, account and payment, changing account settings, voila. Or I have another account issue. And then you can ask Uber whatever the hell you want, any kind of question at all. That's pretty much the fallback for trying to get a question to them. From everything, anything and everything. So, in case you didn't know, now you know. You're welcome. But, yes, people can be really rude. And then when you try to talk about things like this, like the tip box and signs, people go nuts all the time. And it's mostly all the people that have never tried this before, but want to, you know, sit there, get all irate and be an asshole for nothing. Like, there's no reason at all to say anything. You could just say no. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, say, nope, that's not for me. Be a little bit more professional. That's what kills me a lot of times. There's the good question. Gary, do you see more tips on Uber or Lyft? Believe it or not, I don't. Like, I always have both apps on when I start. I try to start from home because thankfully I'm in a decent spot that, you know, I can get trips from being at the house. So when I first leave, you know, I leave the house making money. Now, my problem with Lyft is I get too many freaking cancellations, or people, you know, 20, 25 minutes away, you know, crap like that. And I'm not getting any hit with Uber. I'm like, why not? I'll start driving that direction. Odds are someone's just going to go ahead and cancel with me. And if they cancel, at least maybe I got a better chance of getting the Uber ride. Christian said, you are right. A lot of packs to me that you are the first person with this sign. See, that's good. And if you have that too, that's creative. People like that, man. Believe it or not. That's what we're lacking nowadays. But with Lyft, I think, honestly, Uber. I get way more tips with Uber because I do more trips with Uber. And even when the trips I have done with Lyft, I'm going to say I got tipped less on the Lyft app than I have with the Uber app. But honestly, I get more cash tips than anything. And to me, cash is king. I don't pay taxes on it. It doesn't exist. And that's fucking awesome. I mean, there's just no kidding around that. If you're getting cash tips, you're making so much money, and then you don't have to report that. So, shh. But yes, in the end, I'm going to say Uber. Even though Lyft has had it in the app longer, I still think more people still take Uber because they're still number one. That's why I think I did my video yesterday. I said if Lyft would do something different, and if they even raised the rates at all, like 50 cents or anything, something different than Uber that was in a positive for the drivers, everybody would jump ship and go to Lyft, and then Uber would have to follow suit and do the same thing. And you know what I'm saying? But I don't think they're ever going to wise up like that. They're just going to let Uber take the lead and just keep following along. Which, you know, whatever, it's still fine with me. Trump say. See, I don't talk about political. See, those are the things right there. Do you want to make sure you get tips? Honestly, never talk about religion or politics. Those are the two things you want to try to stay away from because, I don't know, personally, you never know how someone's going to be. Now, if your PAX is talking about it, I'll agree with whatever the fuck they're saying. I'm like, yep, sure, you know, I don't care. Yeah, Hillary should have won. Oh, Bernie, yeah, man, he would have been awesome. I don't care. Then that's different. But, like, I would personally never just start talking about it on my own. But whatever they say, whatever keeps them going, keeps them in a good mood, that's why staying positive in this business is really good. Because if you don't, to try to get tips that way, nobody wants to hear people be a dick and be mad and hate what they're doing. Because then, you know, you're like negative energy everywhere. People are going to want to tip. You're not in the tipping mood if you feel like, you know, you're pissed off or this guy's just downed your mood. I'm not going to want to tip you then, but I still will because I'm one of those people. Every time I ever take a trip, if they're not doing something they should be doing, I always make sure I inform them. I say I'm a driver as well, so that way I can still help them out. I try to invite them to the group and everything else. But I always tip. No matter what, you always get a $5 tip. I heard cash boxes work. I want to see where people are putting the cash box and how they secure it. Well, you see, like, okay, I have a Toyota Sienna. I have a van. So on the center console in the middle between the passenger and driver, I Velcro it. I have big Velcro strips on the middle of the center console, and then this is on there really good. And then you just stick it on there, bam, and it don't go nowhere. Nowhere at all. Some people buy those, like I said, the other tip boxes and whatnot, that you can kind of like strap them down, which, I don't know, that seems like a lot of stuff, but yeah. That definitely seems like a lot more stuff than I want to deal with. I like the Velcro, it works great. And like I said, after every trip that I see people tip, or if I haven't checked it in a while, I'll just check it to make sure. I'll take all the money out because it's black, so you can't see through it, so I don't have to worry about that. Yes, I have Amazon links. In the description below, I have the website link. You click on that, and then you can scroll down, and I have the Amazon things already up there. So, you know what I mean? It has the boxes, and it has a bunch of different accessories. You can just click on it, and then you can choose whatever box you want. Yes, that helps support the channel as well. Which, I don't know, in a way that's... Oh, no. In the description below of this video, you'll go ahead and you'll see ridesharedrivertips.com. That's my website. You click on that, and then you just scroll down on that, and you'll see the Amazon links and the pictures of the tip boxes and stuff right there. I do it that way. Otherwise, Amazon gets picky and crap, and sometimes they'll take your link away, and then they'll take your money away and everything too. So, yeah, you got to play by their rules on how you do that, or you can lose your extra money, which is also another thing. You want to make extra money doing this? If you could start a YouTube channel, do Amazon links, Amazon affiliates, Facebook groups. You could do all that. It's a lot of work. I ain't gonna lie. So yeah, like even now, I'm not even monetized now. I'm not making any money off any of these videos. I do this to try to, you know, help people out. I was monetized before, but you weren't really making a whole lot. The Uber man, he was making a lot, but he does car parts. He does a lot of things. And he's been in the YouTube gig for like, you know, 8 years and crap. So there's definitely a lot of different avenues on how you can make money. Hell, you could, in whatever states that you're allowed to record your, you know, your riders, and you can actually get their permission, you could even have their stuff up there, put it on YouTube. I know that Driving with Ryan guy, he's got like almost 500,000 followers. And he does Uber. I don't know how he gets away with the videos, but hey, I don't knock anybody's game. That's why I try to encourage people and tell them, hey, I'm going to tell you what works for me because I want you to be happy with what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Either way, you're going to go out there and drive. So I might as well at least help give you some tools that may help you be happier and make more money, because why not? And most of the time, these people aren't even in my market. So all you got to do is still apply the principle of this, and you can make good money. So please, definitely, everybody get tip boxes and signs. I don't care where you get them from. Make them anything. Just please use them. You have to use them. Oh, man. So many people miss out. But it just really bugs me when people miss out just because they just think it's tacky and don't want to give it a try. That's just stupid. Yeah, that's right, Christian. This is your business. This is, you know what I'm saying? No one's going to make this money for you. Scared money don't make money. You know what I'm saying? That's the line. That's the phrase that pays right there. Scared money don't make money, and nobody's going to get up there and make this money for you. People can give you all the tools and everything else, and if you don't use it, you lose it. Hey, what's up, Renee? Yeah, it is. It's just, you know, it's just a little box. I don't always tip, but when I do, I tip my awesome Uber driver. And then it's just simple. You know what I'm saying? The other one I have up here is a little crazier or whatever. It just says like heat and AC. That's why I said my one friend that made it for me, I thought it was kind of cool. It worked pretty good. And like I said, my old Uber light up sign, I used that. This was my very first sign that I had, which still worked. It's plain, it's simple. It still brought conversation to the game because people were like, "Oh, what's that?" You know, I didn't think you had a tip. I thought I was included. I'm like, "Oh, no, sir. No, ma'am. No, that tips are not included." You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you got to work for them tips. So whatever you can do to... I even heard people, okay, yesterday in my group, they were like talking about like the gay pride or anything like that. Any kind of events like that. If you want to go ahead and, you know, play the part, you know, throw stickers on your stuff, dress up, whatever. Why not? Why not do it? If you're entertaining, if people are seeing something different, that's also how you can get tips. People like something different they've never seen that they enjoy. So standing out definitely helps a lot. And that's when, you know, people are always like, "Hey, this was like the best ride ever," and, you know, stuff like that. But if you're smart, I don't know how people feel about giving their phone numbers out and everything, but, you know, have a separate line and whatnot. But getting clientele can also help you a lot, because I have at least six people every weekend give me a text and ask, "Hey, you gonna be working this spot or this time this weekend?" And, you know, I tell them yes or no. I'm like, "Sure." So that way I almost have pre-rides in advance, and I know exactly where I'm gonna go. So when I leave my house, I'll go ahead and hit the destination filter so I can still get rides on to where I'm going. So it's a really good idea to go ahead and try to do that. I know they have an app, Userve app as well. A lot of people, you know, use that. Some people like it, some people don't, because they can also choose different riders, and you might not get chosen sometimes. So at least giving your number out, you have a better shot than no shot. What'd you say, Renee? I have been thinking about adding the auto door sticker on the outside of my van. Oh, God, yes, you're right. I have the same kind of van, and as soon as people roll up, they always want to go ahead and touch it. That's why I make sure everything's locked so they can't do that. And then, of course, I wrote on the window, always make sure you ask them, like, what's your name? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you roll up, I'm like, hey, excuse me, sir, you guys looking for an Uber? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, what's your driver's name? Make them say your name, because only the person that ordered it, or, you know, someone in their group that ordered it is going to know your name. That way you don't get the wrong passenger. But then after that, I hit the button and the doors open. They're like, oh, this is so cool. It's like it's luxury. And it's like, you know, it's just a van. But hey, that's also a kind of good conversation icebreaker right there. I know some people like to use DVD players and, you know, their tablets and stuff like that. But honestly, I've heard too many stories about people's stuff getting broken or stolen and stuff like that, that to me, that's not worth it. That's going a little too extreme. And unless you have something that you're not worried about getting broke or stolen, I wouldn't recommend anybody. Damn bug. I need to get me that screen garage door. Does opening the door help with getting tips? Yes, you know what, Gary? I honestly think it does, because they're like, oh, that's cool, you know. They're getting the first class, you know, ride and stuff. And I'm like, yep. I was like, I open everybody's door. So the one thing I do besides that, I make sure if people have luggage, I definitely get out and do that. I don't care if people say that's not our job and everything else. But, I mean, that's just like common courtesy, for one. For two, I make sure they're not going to damage my vehicle. And then for three, it just makes you look good. Looks like you got manners. You know what I'm saying? You're proper, or whatever you want to call it. But how you carry yourself in this gig is also a good way to how you're going to get tips. You know, you don't want to go dressing like a hobo and stuff like that and then expect to get tips. And you don't have to dress up really nice in a suit and tie. Because you know what? I did an experiment and tried that. I had my no tip box and dressed up and didn't get many tips. And then I had my tip box and kind of dressed like a hobo. And believe it or not, I was surprised my tip box actually worked out. So that also showed me that no matter what, tip boxes help. So you can get away with not dressing up and whatnot. So just always just casual. That's what I always say. Casual just works for every occasion. So yeah. What is that? That's right, Darla. Renee, I think the tip box is a great reminder for them to tip. You damn right. Yes, definitely. And Gary, do you stop for your packs? Oh, yes. Thank you, Gary. That is a very good question. Mainly the answer is yes. Yes, I will stop for them. Now, there are stipulations to that yes. That depends on where they want to stop, if they're going to be going into like a grocery store or something like that. If they are, and they tell me what they're going to be, most time I'll actually get tipped up front, which is really cool. If you tip me up front, damn right I'm going to wait. No doubt about that. But other than that, if they tell me it's going to be like 20, 30 minutes, that's when I'll go ahead and flat out tell them, I'm like, I'm sorry. You know, we only get paid minute, or, you know, pennies, like 10 cents a minute to wait. I can't wait for you for 20, 30 minutes. So I've even had to make up before. I was like, oh, I got another trip already. You know, stuff like that. I mean, that is kind of messed up, but at the same time, I'm not waiting that long, and whether you're going to tip me or not, because I could be missing out. Now, if it's not surging or anything, depending on the time, I might wait. If I'm bored, I have nothing else to do, I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I've gotten tipped and not tipped, so it's always a 50-50 on that, as it is in general on getting tips. And that's why signs and tip boxes help, because no matter what, that reminds people that they should do something that they should already know. And that's why if anybody wants to ever use my line, I got a perfect line that seems to work pretty damn good, at least 90% of the time. All I say is, all right, well, you guys have been a 5-star riders. I hope you enjoyed the ride. Stay safe and have a great day. And that's it. Just saying the fact of you've been a 5-star passenger, I don't know why it somehow like reminds them to rate you. And we all know if they rate you, then they can see the tip option, and those go hand in hand. You win some, you lose some, but a lot more times, as long as you can get them to rate you, you have a way higher percentage of getting a tip than not getting a tip. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. So no matter what, worst case scenario, if you're not getting cash tips, these signs are going to remind them to rate you. And if they rate you, people get up to 30 days to rate you and tip you. That's beautiful right there. I've sat there. I've gotten tips, 5, 6 days later. I'm like, what the hell? Where'd this come from? I ain't going to complain about it. So yes, that I will stop. And especially if they're going to a convenience store. Oh, definitely yes, because they're just going to run in 5, 10 minutes. Yesterday alone, I actually went out and someone was like, can you stop at a 7-Eleven? Because I was taking them to the airport. And I was like, yeah, man, sure, why not? And I stopped. He was like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and tip you. I think he said he was going to give me $5. I don't remember. I just know he said he was going to tip me. He's like, but I'm going to buy some lotto tickets. He said, do you want cash or do you want a ticket? And I like to gamble, so I was like, hey, man, I'll take the ticket. Why not? He picked me a ticket, gave it to me. Of course, I didn't scratch it when he was there because he scratched all his and he lost them all. He lost all of them. So the one ticket he gave me, it won $10. It was a $5 ticket. So I got a $10 tip. And, yeah, just for stopping at a convenience store, it took him less than 5 minutes to run in, And that's why, like, on the app, I'm pretty sure for at least Lyft, and I think Uber, it says, like, 3-minute wait time. And let's be honest, any store almost, especially a convenience store, it's going to take more than 3 minutes. And especially if you don't exactly know what you're looking for. So I'll give everybody at least 5 minutes. And if like I said, because at a gas station, it usually doesn't take any more than 5 minutes. And if it is like a long line or something, I'll still wait because I'll just get out the car and take that time to stretch, which is another good point. Everyone, please make sure every 2 to 4 hours you want to definitely get out of your car and stretch for at least 10, 15 minutes. Otherwise, your lower back will hurt. So, yeah, you don't want that happening. Oh, man. But, yes, I would love everybody, if you're not using a tip box, to start using it. Go ahead and, use this weekend for an example. You know what I'm saying? One day use it, one day don't. Tell me you didn't get better. Tell me you didn't make more. You know what I'm saying? I would love people to prove me wrong because for a long time, I was one of those people that was like, I'm not using a tip box. I'm not using a sign, I thought the same way. And then I was like, all right, let me get over myself. My neighbor was doing it, and he was like, hey, man, this works. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's try it out. And shit you not, sure enough, I regret not using it sooner. That's always my best thing. I always tell everybody, please just use it because you don't know what you're missing out on. And it's not begging. I hate when people always say it's begging. It's just a sign. You know what I'm saying? Please don't forget to rate 5, and please enjoy a safe ride. I mean, it's simple stuff, and you can make it say whatever you want, but I don't get how it says just because it's begging. I'm not holding the cup in my hand like, can I have some change, sir? Can I have some change? No. So it's not begging. It's a friendly reminder. It's just like, everybody now, even, okay, you go out to eat, like people like to say, they say waitresses and everybody doesn't beg, but it's in your damn receipt. You know what I'm saying? It's there. It even says gratuity not included or something like that or what's recommended. So don't listen to other people. Do what you want to do. I mean, if you really don't want to have a tip box or sign, hey, more power to you. I'm not running your business, so I'm not going to tell you, what to do. But all I can do definitely, you bought one from eBay, basic tip sign on the wall, paid $6. That's awesome, man. Did you get it and use it yet? Timmy. Hey, you know what, though? No matter what, that is some good advice right there. Stay in school so you don't have to be a fool. That's right. But you know what? I've met a lot of people, though, that, doctors. I've had a policeman. Everybody. Firemen. A lot of people do Uber and Lyft just for some extra money. Just because, and you have fun. You get to meet new people. Please don't mess with any of your riders, and if you ever end up starting dating them or anything else, please at least do it a couple days later. Don't ever do anything while you're on the ride. That's right, Timmy. So do strippers. Hey, that's right. You never know who is who, and that's why you always tip. Tipping is good no matter what. And everybody loves tips. Everybody loves tips. Oh, congrats, Gary. See, he's a sales manager, major. Oh, yeah. See, everyone just likes this extra money, man. And if you got kids, I got 4 kids. This is awesome to put away. And then, I make them do chores around the house, and this is like their allowance money. That works perfect for me. I got a clean house. I ain't got to do it. I get to have fun, driving around, meeting new people. Why not? And I'm also an HVAC tech. So I make quite a bit of money. I had my my own company I need to start back up. Dustin's All Around Services. So, oh yeah, man. Everybody can do everything. Oh, I don't have the cup. I just have the box. I just have the box today, Darla. What's your routine when you start? Do I drive to the hot spot? That's a good question there, Jack. Honestly, okay, it depends on what time of the day I'm going to go ahead and start because I know where traffic's going to be. So you either want to get past where all the traffic is, or, you know, some people just go ahead and say screw it and they'll start from their house. So a lot of times I'll do that because mine's in a decent location, and almost any trip I get here is going to take me to Tampa because I'm in like Wesley Chapel. So I'm like at least a good 30 minutes away from Tampa. And any ride I get, whether it's UberX or XL, is going to be really good. And I'm gonna start off the day making at least 20 to 40 bucks just getting in my ride to leave the house. So that is just awesome right there. So mainly I will start from the house and then just go wherever they drop me off. Then I will continue on to, depending on the location, is where I'll pick my hot spot, because that's why I always tell everybody, knowing your market is the main key to being able to get tips. You don't have to have people, you know, bitch and complain that your navigation was off because you already know where to go. You know what I'm saying? But after that, if I'm in a bad spot and I don't want to be there, I'll turn my app off, or I'll hit destination filter, depending on what time of the day it is, to set to the next hotspot and drive there. And then I'll sit and I'll pick a certain spot, and then I'll wait 10 to 20 minutes. Thankfully, usually it's not much longer than that because I'll have Uber and Lyft running at the same time, just because you never know, of course. And I even do Uber Eats, so I'll have that on too. And whatever comes first, I'll go ahead and take. That's just how that game goes. Never use your destination filter when there is no surge. I'll still use it because I have two. I still use one though, just because if I want it to go where I know I want to go, and if I do get a ride like to the airport, if I use it to go that direction, if I get a ride there, like I said, it's going to be at least 30, 40 bucks for an airport ride. But I always save one for the way home because I like to try to make some kind of money on the way home. And let's see. Christian said, first summer I can say I can fly somewhere. That's awesome, Christian. See, it's saving up them tips, man. And then Gary, hotspot. I get there, and as soon as I get there, my next ride takes me out. Oh, you know what? That does suck a lot of times, Gary. But you know what that does prove? That proves that it is a hotspot. If you're getting there, and as soon as you get there, you're getting a ride to go wherever, that proves at least your hotspot is an actual hotspot, which is really good to know. And if you know what times of the day when it's going to surge, that's even better. That's when you just post up there, turn your app off. And if you want to help like fuck with it, turn your rider app on and look around. You can see all the other drivers that are around you or whatnot, but then your app's also on. And you know how Uber surge crap, I mean, they've changed it. They said it was, before they said it was the more riders have their app on looking for rides is when surge, you know, and demand goes up. So whether that honestly works or not, I don't know. But when I'm sitting and waiting, I will have the rider app on just so I can see who's around me as well, because it'll show up to 6 or 7 other drivers that are around you at once, so you can get an idea why you might not be getting a ping, and then you just move accordingly. That's what I do all the time. If I feel one spot's not working, limits on destination filters. Yes, you can only get 2 a day. They did one time have it at 6, and that was really awesome. I took advantage of that. They only had it out in play for like a month. I think a month, maybe 2. But I used the hell out of that thing, and I was loving it. But they said Uber got rid of it because a lot of people weren't getting rides or weren't getting the trips because people's destination was going past where they were going and not in their direction, and that's when you don't get those rides. So it helped those who did use it wisely, but then the other riders and everybody complained about it because they didn't get their short rides. Ooh, and one more thing too. Please, people, don't ever discriminate on if you're going to pick up a rider just because of their rating, because a lot of people have different opinions on why their rating's low, and it could just be from anything like the driver was just pissed off that, you know, they didn't tip and just decided to give them a 1, or didn't like them or anything like that. You know, it could be gender, ethnicity. You know what I'm saying, though. They could be anything why their rating is so low. Sometimes they could be assholes. They got drunk and puked someone's car. Anything. Me, I pick up anybody. If you're going to get, you know, I get the ping and you're not too far of distance, I'll pick anybody up. And I've actually gotten tipped really good on people that had low star ratings and were like, well, I don't know why my star rating is so low. And then they were freaking out getting deactivated just like we can. And then it was just kind of funny. I was like, yeah, you don't worry about that. I'm sure you could just start a new account with a different email and voila, you're a 5-star rider again. And then telling somebody that one time, he was like, oh, really? I could do that? He tipped me $20 just for telling him that. And I was like, okay. I figured you could have found that out on your own. The only time I don't pick up anybody, I've even had people offer me tips and everything. I've had someone try to give me $50 to take their kids. And it's like, I can't take your kids. I do not take minors. Okay, I don't care how much you're going to tip me. I don't pick up minors, unaccompanied minors, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that correctly. If you don't have a parent or someone 18 with you, I ain't taking you. Just because it's against the TOS and I don't want the headache. Little kids can say whatever the hell, you tried to look at them wrong or something like that. I'm not down for all that. So that's the one time I will deny a tip. I hate to say it, and it hurts to even say it, but yeah. Do I have webcam? Yes, I had the Ventro Pro 2, and my damn kids, they'd got me all distracted. I left it in the fucking car during the day when I wasn't driving with all my windows up, and it fried it out because I'm in Florida. So that was dumbass part on my end. So I got to get me a new one. But it is a really good camera. It was like $250 when I bought it. So I mean, it did cost a lot, but it videoed the back, you know, inside and out, and it was. You know, I had like the infrared or the night vision, so that was really cool. So I like that a lot too. Yep, see, so you know what I'm saying. But yeah, down here in Florida, I left it in the car and it just fried. I was like, son of a bitch. I was distracted because I got too many damn kids. Hence why doing Uber is fun too, because I get away from them and then I get to meet other people and talk to adults. And that's why, you know, I'm a good people person. And if you have people skills in this, you can get a lot of tips. And that's why I always tell people, I mean, you can dress however you want, act however you want, whatever. Just be professional, be courteous, and if you can, be entertaining and funny. Everybody loves entertaining and funny. When you're laughing, you're having a good time. I don't know. I think tips come more natural when people are happy. You know, you don't ever tip or give somebody money if you're pissed off or mad. So, yeah. Being happy is the way to go. That's definitely my best advice on that. That's why I don't ever even when Uber and Lyft both piss me off, I will never be negative when I'm sitting in the car because we always know we all get the same questions asked all the time. So, how long you been driving for Uber? You like it? How much do you make? And then the best one, what's your favorite story? What's your craziest Uber ride? Like, I think we can top it. And they always, it's always crazy. It's always, believe it or not, it happens to all the college kids, and I don't get it. All the older people are just, they'll ask the one simple question, you know, how long you been driving for the Uber? And then that's when I tell them, they're like, oh, you like it? And I'm like, yep. Make good, yep. Those are the only questions you ever really asked over and over. And then I have just had people ask before I had the tip boxes and signs, and that's why I always recommend them. Because even when people that see the signs, they can't believe it themselves. They're like, oh, you can tip? Like, I never noticed that, or I didn't know. So it's like, yeah. It's awesome to be able to remind them without having to tell them themselves. So it works really great, and people just don't even realize it. Oh, man, and that's why I'm going to always tell everybody, please get a tip box, tip sign, and just use it. Try it for one weekend, just anything. One simple investment. You'll make your money back, I'm sure, on the first day that you use it. And then especially if it's the weekend, guaranteed, I guarantee you, you spend 10, 15 bucks on a box, and that weekend alone, you're going to make your money back. Plus. And then you're going to love it and like it. And then the cool thing is, like with this, like when I show everybody, it's just so simple to go ahead and you can pull the paper out, and you can put something different in it every day. You can be creative every single day, and it takes 2 seconds to go ahead and pop it in. Like I said, you buy the ones that come with a lock, just, you know, to make yourself feel better. I said if you do get the clear ones, you can go to Walmart and get those stupid little LED lights that are really cheap, like $2 or something. Just shove it in there. Shove it in there, have it glow, and voila, if you want to be cool like that. I know you can also order things off Amazon, but it just depends on how much money you want to spend, what you want to do. I know some people even have like light bars on the bottom. You know, when you get in and they have their little remote and they can change the lighting, you know, for your feet and everything. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I thought about doing that, but I've had so many people, when they get in anyways, they like can kick things because things can get tight with the XL. And yeah, I'd rather not have to worry about things getting broken or stolen. I want a light bar as I drive on my drinkers. See, Renee, that's why in a way light bars are cool, but in a way also I think they can screw with the drunks as well and make them puke. So that's just a 50-50 shot right there. But anybody, I always also have my puke bucket with me. Just a little small $2 trash can I got from Family Dollar, and that thing works wonders because I don't trust those little bags. You're downtown Tampa? That's awesome, darling. But you know how traffic can get down there. Oh, my God. Dale Maryberry and all that. That can get insane. That's why I'll go over there to St. Pete. I like Treasure Island area. That's a high tip area for me. And up and down Gulf Boulevard, all the way up to Clearwater and St. Pete Beach. Yeah, that's awesome. Most of my trained people go to sleep and I don't see the lights. See, well, that's good too, Renee. Yeah. Drunk people that just go to sleep, those are perfect. And I also have a video on that. I mean, depending on who it is, if they pass out in your car and you can't wake them up, screaming, yelling, everything else, I've just ended up calling the paramedics and stuff, or the police, and then have them deal with it. If you can't get a hold of anybody at their house, because yeah, I don't touch my passengers, and even having the dash cam just because you want to make sure nothing goes down, no harassment, no nothing. And yeah. Oh man, that's traffic central. Yeah, I don't like over there. Oh man, I try to go up and down Dale Maryberry, and then I'll just take the interstate over to St. Pete. Oh, you have LED lights? That's awesome. Do you like them? Like, does everybody say something about it? It's a good conversation piece, and then that way, that's more interaction with your passengers, and bam, you can get some tips. Because I don't, especially with drunk people, I feel responsible. Yeah, man. Yeah, you can sometimes. Clients, especially my drunk people, I feel, yeah, you got to. That's why I feel responsible too, and I wouldn't want anybody to die, but mainly I don't want to get myself in trouble as well, because everybody knows one false accusation from a passenger can get you kicked off the platforms, which is really fucked up. It really is. And sometimes Uber or Lyft won't even take your dash cam video. I've had people get kicked off and they had dash cam video and they didn't even want to see it. So it was really fucked up. You got a PAX cry in your car, it got awkward. I've had that many a nights. I've had people get in my van, sitting there saying they just broke up with their boyfriend, or girlfriend, and tell me their whole life stories, and I'm just like, yeah, that's messed up. You're right. You are right. Just agree with them and everything else. Try to make them feel good. Try to make the ride be pleasant, and yeah, getting tips that way. just being a human being can help you get tips, man. You know what I'm saying? People don't realize that. Being yourself goes a long way. And just being courteous and professional even can go better. And then you got to have tip box inside. You got to. And I'm sure probably, I shared this to a couple groups. I want to see how everything went. I'm sure it probably went crazy. I felt bad to her. She wasn't happy. I was going to judge her to tip $20. See, that's right. Yeah, get that money. Get that tip for helping them out. Being a cheap therapy session, as you might as well say. Channel side. Yeah, I don't like channel side. Channel side is just clusterfuck. I try to stay away from there. Same with where the hockey rink is, El Marie. Marina. I can't say that word very good. But yeah, I don't like over there, that area too much. Too much traffic. That's why I'll stay in St. Pete. And it's pretty perfect. Downtown St. Pete and Treasure Island is the one straight road. Back and forth, 25 bucks all night long, each ride. And then plus whatever they tip. So I love that. I love that nonstop. Or all the way up to Clearwater and back. That's where I stay. And I don't have the big buildings, so my signal doesn't kill out on my GPS. Because I've had sometimes the signal kill out and people were like, where are you going? Where are you going? And I'm like, I know where I'm going. Don't worry. You know, this is my market. This is where I drive. And they're like, oh, but the GPS is just messing up. I'm like, it's cool. Don't worry. So, yeah, I don't like to be around there because everyone knows people can get hit up all the time. If you piss people off by not knowing where you're going, your GPS screws up, you know, to no fault of your own, people will, you know, get pissed off and not tip you and rate you bad and try to blame it on navigation. So that can really be an ass. You're at Channel Side right now? Oh, that's awesome. See, but it's Tuesday. I can't imagine it's actually very busy on Tuesday. Like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's why I don't drive full time, so I don't know for sure, but I just know those are probably the slower days in our market. And I stick to, if I'm going to do anything, really, it's Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those are the best days in my aspect. But I know they have a lot of ladies' nights and everything else because we do have some strip bars. And, yeah, I know you can get some kickbacks off them, too. If you go in there and talk to the bouncers, it's almost like, it's like 20 bucks a person or whatever, depending if they come in, pay cover charge. Oh, yeah. You got to get kickbacks wherever you can. Oh, man. But yes, that's why everybody definitely has to have tip boxes and signs. Please, once again, I will show you Amazon, baby. Amazon. Just check the link below. Go to the website, the ridesharedrivertips.com, and then just scroll all the way down. I have most of the YouTube videos, and I have a little blog on there as well, and other info about Uber and taxes, and you know, pretty much everything everyone needs to know, without being a smart ass to anybody or anything else. So just always check the descriptions below, and they have everything covered. And if anything, my email's down there too. People can always email me. Whatever. It's all good. I'm always out to help. But all right, guys, it's been a while. Gotta make sure all these kids are sleeping. I hope everyone has a great night. You stay safe out there. Like, comment, subscribe. Always give me the thumbs up. And keep doing your thing. Don't take shit from nobody. Get your money. And as always, Uber and Lyft on.